Hey everybody, so today news came out that there's going to be an Intellivision collection coming to the Evercade, and this to me is kind of fascinating. You know, I grew up in a time where Atari made games for the Intellivision and Mattel, owners of the Intellivision, made games for Atari, and for a while that's not been the case. Competitors didn't really make games for each other, but now like Sony's putting out a baseball game for the Xbox as well as the PlayStation, and now we have the Intellivision coming to the Evercade. This interests me because I kind of see Intellivision, the Amico, the Atari VCS, and also the Evercade kind of competing against the same for the same audience. You know, people who grew up like me with the Atari 2600 or NES or Sega Genesis or the Intellivision in that generation, they're kind of fighting for those gamers, but here they're kind of working together. So we have Intellivision coming out for the Evercade. More about that in just a minute. We have Breakout, an Atari game coming on the Intellivision and Amico, and who knows, maybe one day on the VCS there'll be some Intellivision games or something like that. And of course, the Evercade also has an Atari collection or two, actually quite a few Atari collections if you count the Lynx collections on their system as well. So it's kind of cool to see that these three companies, in a sense, are kind of working together and not necessarily against one another. So let's talk about this collection. So there's going to be 12 games. It's going to come in the fall of 2021. They've announced 3 so far: Astro Smash, Frog Bog, and Night Stalker. Now that's out of 12 games. So it's going to have 12 games. We have 3 of them. So what about the other 9? We don't know. Now, Tommy Tallarico did do an interview with OEB, I believe Pete it is, on YouTube, and in it he said that the games they are going to produce are going to be suitable for the limited buttons of the Evercade. Of course, it doesn't have a full keypad. And so I was thinking about what possible games that could be. And Tommy also said that there's possibly going to be some games that weren't part of the original releases. So maybe some prototypes that got finished or whatnot. So I wanted to just look at my list and kind of guess at what possible games could go on there. This is my rankings based on games I reviewed for the original Intellivision. It doesn't contain all the games, but a good chunk of them. So Tower of Doom, I think, is possible. It's doable. It didn't use a lot of the keypad. Thunder Castle, I think, should definitely be on the system. I would love to see Burger Time on it. I don't know if it's going to be tied up with licensing. Now, the Evercade does have a Data East licensed game collection on there already, so it's possible they could work things out, but when you involve, 3 kind of companies splitting the pot, splitting the money, that's when things can get tricky. So I don't know if Burger Time could be on there. If they could do it, I would love to see both Burger Time and Diner. That would be a really cool thing. Cloudy Mountain, the AD&D game, it heavily used the keypad to aim the arrows. So unless they take the time, which is possible, but I don't know if it's likely, to mapping it so that you can just shoot the arrows with one button, whatever direction you're facing, that's possible, but it takes away from the game, so that might not happen. Treasure Tarman used the keypad a lot, so I don't think that'll happen. Masters of the Universe, that's a licensing thing. I would love to see it get re-released. I don't think it's ever been officially re-released, but that probably won't happen. Shark, I think, is definitely a strong possibility. Pac-Man, that's an Atari game, but it's also Namco. I doubt that would be a licensing nightmare probably. But, maybe a game like Space Spartans could. It would be cool if they could include some IntelliVoice games, but Space Spartans, again, it uses the overlay. So some of those games, wouldn't really work out. One game I could see definitely on it is Thin Ice. A very simple game control-wise. And of course, maybe a game like Buzz Bombers. That would be another one. Maybe the Space Armada game, that could be as well. So you could see some decent games. It'll be interesting to see if this collection has enough going for it to entice people to buy it. Because Intellivision games, they've come out, in different compilations over the years, ever since, the days of like the PlayStation and whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see if there's anything special about this collection that sets it apart. If any of these unique games that you don't normally see released come out on it. Maybe like the Deep Pockets game, the pool game, or there's some other games that are a possibility. And what they do, if there's anything they do to make it special. But again, these cartridges are only $20, so it's not a bad deal, a little over $1 a game. So the Intellivision is coming to the Evercade. Let me know what you think about, Tommy working with Evercade and not against them, and, Atari games appearing on the Amico in the comments below. And I will see you next time on the next Nosware Gamer video.